Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Of course, there's nobody in chat right now. Anybody hear me? Those who are watching, hello. Now, let's talk. First off, there's a lot of things.
Hear me?
Oh, I'm echoing myself. There's a lot of things that are strange and weird to some people. It's no real subject, thinking off the top of my head. Recently, I guess you're wondering why I changed up what I'm doing, how I'm doing, how I'm putting myself out there and whatnot. Why I'm not using certain things that I used to use. Well, I'm just not. I decided not to. I just decided to go back to basics on my own. Because that's where I started off. Basic. And I'll soon pick up. I'm looking for music now. Put out there on my, for my intro. Gonna start working on some other research stuff. I got another one coming up pretty soon. Hey Linda, how you doing? There's a few things that are gonna change. I need to I need to put out some new intro music. I'm gonna work on that. Doing a lot of research on plenty of things. Yeah, sorry, this was just fly off the seat of my pants. I just decided to go live. Because you guys deserve a live stream from my new point, from the new set point of view of what I'm going to do. Now, if you have any questions, let me know. I know there's a lurker out there. Lurkers are fine with me, as long as they don't cause trouble. So I do apologize for the late notice. I did put a video out notifying everybody who's my subscribers. I was doing this, and I figured you guys deserve an explanation of why I went back to the basics. This is something I decided to do. Something that I needed to do. You start from the beginning, you get to a middle point, and then you decide to go, like in a book, reread the beginning. So, doing my own thing. Like I said in my other video, there's only going to be 3 videos a week. Actually, 3 videos a month. The last one going to be Monday. It's not a good topic. Gonna stay with cryptids, paranormal, stuff like that. It's good to have you here, Linda. It's good to see you. You got any questions? Let me know. I know it's a little early. I don't do a lot of that. I usually do it late, but and on a good notice. The next one will be on a good notice. I'll have a better notice, hopefully, for everybody. The next live show will be at the last Sunday of next month. I'm going to try to do one once every month. 3 videos a month. That way I have time to do the research on what the topic is. And you guys can feel free, my audience, feel free to give me a topic you think I could go into researching and look at. So, not that there's any way of I'm going to run out of ideas anytime soon. But yeah, I'm also here to answer questions. If you guys have any questions, the 2 of you, the one Larker or Linda, let me know. You want more on Man-Bat. Well, the thing is, Linda, without somebody telling me they saw Man-Bat, it's not my content, so I'm not going to put it out there. It's somebody else's content. Unless you know somebody who's seen Man-Bat and they can tell me, then I can't do other websites stuff now. I'm not going to do that. It's taking content from their website, and instead of information, it's taking content, and I'm not going to do that. But if people are willing to tell me their Man-Bat story, I will do more on Man-Bat. But there's been a lot of sightings of him in Chicago, from what I know. The most current one was in Mississippi or Missouri. I think it was either one. But I know somebody who knows the person who saw it. That was the information that I gave you, that Man-Bat picked up a car and threw it. I should have put that story out there because the person said I could use it, but I decided against it because I didn't have it emailed to me. So I didn't do it. But if I get the okay from this person, I will do a short video of that sighting, and put it out there. But I will be putting effort towards other cryptids as well. I think the next show hopefully will be on Bigfoot. I'm hoping I can get some people that know a lot more about it than I do. But, all things aside, we're still going to talk about Bigfoot. What we know and what that person knows. We're not going to say, oh, this is factual or not. If we don't have facts to prove it, we're not going to put it out there. If we don't have the information, I'm not going to put it out there. Each one of all my new stuff is going to be stuff that I've looked up or my team has looked up for me and done research. I'm going to at least I'm wanting at least for every research I did or I do, it will be 3 or 4 websites. And sometimes I will go look at books, read books on the subject and stuff like that. If I can find any. So far, what I've compiled is stuff that from websites. There's not just one, there's 3 or 4. None of them are from Wikipedia. So I don't use Wikipedia as a reference anymore. But yeah, if you know anybody who's seen Man Bat or the aka Gargoyle, let me know. And gladly give them my email address, which if you want it, I'll give it to you. Or my Facebook, which is always in the link down below. That if y'all want to talk about Man Bat, we can. But this is about anything strange or weird, so we can. Seeing as I've done a lot of research on it, and my team's done a lot of research on it. My team's not here right now. It's just me, so I can tell you the information that I have on it. If you want to know that, just let me know. Other than that, I'll continue to talk for a little bit because I want this thing to at least go at least 30 minutes to an hour. But yeah, I'll do more on Man Bat if and when I get sightings. And yeah, seems Man Bat's a big thing with me now, huh? So if you have questions about Man Bat from what I hadn't already told you, if that didn't answer your question, I do plan on it, but until I get more information or have someone who actually has a sighting, I'm not going to do it. Because if it don't come from an actual person, I'm not going to believe the story. Because anybody can write something down and claim it's the truth. So, other than that, you have any more questions, Linda? Or the lurker? Or the two lurkers? About Man Bat or anything else that I've covered? Well, from what I've heard about Mothman has bug-like eyes or red eyes, and I'm not saying they're not connected because there has been sightings in Chicago of Mothman, but these people, from what I've described, it had claws, bat-like wings, and it varied in color, mostly brown or gray. And Mothman got his name because he looked like a moth. None of these creatures look like a moth, from my research, from what I've looked up, from what I read. And Mothman has only been seen in Chicago a few times. These things have been seen in Chicago over 50 times. From my research, from what I did. And usually when they say Mothman, they mean Mothman. When they see Man-Bat, they mainly mean Man-Bat. They don't say, oh, this looks like Mothman. No, they say Man-Bat or bat-like humanoid. In some cases, they call it a bat-like humanoid. I'm I'm an expert on either one of them. I'm not sure how tall Mothman is, but Man-Bat is, from what I've seen and read, is 6 to 7 foot tall with a 10-foot wingspan. All the accounts say the thing has a 10-foot wingspan. How they get that measurement, I'm not sure. But they do say specifically a 10-foot wingspan, 6 to 7 foot tall. So I'm saying this varies between height. I'm pretty sure the build is a muscular build because, like I said, the thing picked up a car and threw it from one account that was given to me, read to me. So for that, I know for a fact. And from all accounts, it makes a whoosh sound when it takes off. From what I heard from somebody else who left in the comments, bats do make their own propulsion, but they all say they have claw-like hands and have arms like us, thus saying humanoid, and all say they have wings on their back. So no, I don't believe it's another form of Mothman, Linda. I don't. Good question, though. By the way, good question. This is just turning into a man bat. I should have changed the title to man. Grim answers questions about man bat, shouldn't I? Here's some similarities, and I wonder if they did. Yes, that is a good assumption. But from the features they say of man bat, which leads me to believe it to be a gargoyle for this reason, it has a beak face structure. It's not like fangs. It has a beak on most of them. They have a beak, and they have red glowing eyes, and like a bird beak, basically. One described it as a raptor's beak. That what makes me believe it to be a gargoyle instead of an actual man bat. But that's the name they've given it because of the wings. Sorry, I was thirsty. That's water, by the way, if you're asking. If you guys want to ask more questions about Man-Bat, ask away. Seems to be the topic of the day. But to answer your question, Linda, that's I'm not gonna say anything bad, but that's like saying, well, I mean, to say they're like us, do you mean the human look to them? Possibility. But oh shoot. Okay, they could be as similar as a chimp and an ape. They're both mammals, but they're different. Is that what you're asking? They could be similar in that way. Yeah, then yes. Then yes, that would be correct to assume. But like I said, I don't think anybody has stopped to actually look at how tall Mothman is, because usually he's in a high elevation. But these things have been seen on the ground, and from one report that I've read, in the Philippines, this thing was on the ground. I think it was eating a cat. That's the most one I can remember. And they said when he stood up, he was about good 6 to 7 foot tall. And that's basically. But I've never heard, I haven't read any reports on Mothman about how tall he is. If you know how tall he is, and let me know. But I don't. Any more questions on Man-Bat? Even questions from the lurkers? Okay. Well, like I said, you're welcome. You're welcome, Linda. Like I said, this could go another 30 minutes. Could be a little bit shorter time. But getting to the latest subject, I was talking about werewolves. That seemed to go over pretty well. Compiled a list of things and information that I've read. That was an interesting story to go into. Because we all know that werewolves are all around the world. Have been noticed and been accounted, but we still don't know. Even from the accounts that I've read, I still don't think they're too real, because everything's it's just too inconsistent. Inconsistency, as in everything's the same. almost. Fur color changes, height changes, but all of the counts lead to the thing looking like a bodybuilder. Each one of them. I didn't or read any about a female. They all looked, all from what I heard, from what I read, looked like a male. To me, that sounds like, how video games create a bad guy or an enemy and they just copy and paste that look on everything. They just change the color of it. Basically, that's what all of them look like. It's like they were copied and pasted and just the fur color changed. But I digress. There very well could be werewolves out there that are different height that's female. But these are from the compiled reports that I've seen, that I've read. But inconsistency in a story is what you want to gather more data. If the data says, oh, this person's this height, that height, and this height, but only two people say that that person or thing is this height, that's consistency. I'm at the same where you're at, Linda, on that subject. There's different kinds of them. The thing about it, though, is that what you want to make a picture of something, you want consistency. If a person, two people out of all these say this creature is 6 foot, but everybody else says, oh, it was 7 foot, 8 foot, you're going to go with the marker in between, but you're going to stick close with majority, which brings up consistency that, okay, we know this thing's between 6 and 7 foot. You leave it at the 8 foot because person could be exaggerating. Okay, so it's between those because one person said it was 6, two people said it was 6, another two says it's 7, and only one person says it's 8. So you know it's in between 6 and 7 foot. Okay, and say 3 or 4 say this person or thing has green or red fur, but two people said has red fur. 2 out of 3 said has red fur. Only one says it's green. So you're gonna think, okay, this thing has red fur. You want to get on that. My thoughts on that? Well, that could be between. I'd need I'd need to know what the people saw. Some people say it's a werewolf. Some people say it's a dog man. Yeah, I hate chaos, by the way. So, what do most people see it as? Do most people see it as a werewolf, or do most people see it as a dog man? Do they say height? Do they say build? Or do they just say they seen this creature that looks like a dog? Because there's always consistency in each story, and in between, usually you find the facts. But from what I've read, mostly on the beast, on any beast, it all depends on what people say it is. So what do people say it is, Chaos? Do they have a description? Because I'm going to need information if you want me to give you my thoughts. You got the story. What do you have? Okay, go ahead. And is this from one person or is this from multiple sources? There's just one person that could be a complete lie. But if it's from the entire community, could also be the truth. Could not. Could be somewhere in between. The more research you do on a subject, the more you're going to know about it, and the more you can draw a conclusion about the subject. Sounds like folklore to me. Have they seen this creature? Do they describe it as anything? Will describe what it looks like? Because from that right there, there's not much you can tell about it, other than they believe or they think or it is or it isn't a werewolf's grave. You can't really determine much from that. Okay, well, if most people believe it's a werewolf, might possibly be anything. But you got to draw your conclusion where you can draw your conclusion. What do they say it looks like other than a werewolf? Did they describe it in any manner other than, oh, it's a tall beast with claws and fur? That could be a dog man, or it could be a werewolf. There's more details that's got to be put out there, more details is going to be done, more research that needs to be done. And this is is this a story from one source or multiple sources? Because if it's just one source, then you've really got nothing other than that one source, and nothing really anything else to back it up. That's just like saying, a man walks out, he grabs a stick, he believes the stick to be possessed. He says it moves around in his room, it hits himself in the head. It's just coming from him, so how is he to be believed? One leap. I'm no expert on werewolves or dogmen, but we both know that Germany is well known, from what I've read about werewolves. They're known to have werewolves. Yes, I've read about that. Now that we know that they can run fast, they can jump high. Did they say any what the color fur was, how much fur they had on it, or what the head looked like? Did the head look like a dog or wolf? Yes, they do. They do. They do look similar. The only difference is that a human transforms into a werewolf. Most notably, I've read that they most notably, from what I've seen, only two, and did my research on, only two of the stories say they transform or they saw this beast, this werewolf, at a full moon, like a large wolf, gray to black. Wolves, werewolves, or wolves have gray fur, and yes, there are black solid wolves. And like a large wolf, well, then that would be a werewolf. Because if we know a dog man's head is larger than a wolf, or than a large wolf's head. Dog men range, from what we both know, Chaos, dog men range from 8 to 10 foot, and also cold in between. The only difference is from a dog man and a werewolf is that they transform into humans, werewolves do. And werewolves have been described to go at least to 8 foot. I haven't heard any about 9 foot, but possibility. So it could be either or. I'm not gonna without more information. But you saying it was a grave of a man who turned into a wolf, a werewolf specifically. So it has to be. Yeah, Germany is a crazy place sometimes. Yes, but that's your opinion. I've never been to Germany, Chaos. So I'm not gonna say it is. But then again, so is the US. Every place around the world can be silly. But you're saying, is this thing solid by any means? Does it look solid? Because ghosts are not solid. And werewolves are legends. They're also myth. But in my opinion, it could quite possibly be a werewolf. But you're saying it is the ghost of one. Why would it have to clear a fence if it's a ghost? Why would it jump a fence? If it's a ghost, it could go straight through it. So there you go. So it's not a ghost of a werewolf, then it possibly is a werewolf. So, in my opinion, they say it's a grave of a werewolf. It could possibly be another werewolf mourning its own. We don't know a lot about burials of any creatures. We know, yes, it could be a werewolf or a dogman. I don't know of many sightings in Germany of dogmen. I know there's a few of werewolves, so it could possibly be a werewolf. That's from the research I know about about werewolves. Possibly be one of our soldiers that can turn into a werewolf. I mean, the government does do weird experiments. Every government does weird experiments. So I'm going to stock it up, possibly being a werewolf. Possibly. Not being definitive. Because if it's a solid creature and it's near a werewolf grave and it's jumping over a military base's fence, yeah, good possibility, yeah. Oh, good quick search is better than, you know, better than no research at all. But a wolf, just a wolf. Oh, if you want to go into skinwalkers, we know skinwalkers turn into wolves. But the thing about it is that King Lycon, he turned into a wolf. So the werewolf of a person standing upright, that's not entirely new. Then again, it's not entirely old either. So the way we see werewolves could possibly just be Hollywood's version of them, because they're the ones that started the whole werewolf craze. Well, actually, Wolfman, then it went to werewolf. Yeah, a shifter. Yeah, there are those. But if you think about it, a werewolf is actually a shifter because it shifts from human form to werewolf form. You see what I'm saying? It shifts. But if you're just talking to straight up wolf, that's a good possibility. But we don't want to go too far into that because possibilities are always, assuming this, we assume that. And we know we all screw up if we just assume something. Can't back it up with facts, then there's no sense of doing it at all. But you all need facts before you can say it's truth. So that just means a lot of research. That's what I've been doing in the past couple of days on my next subject. I'm not going to tell you guys what that is, so letting you know. After this, I plan on doing more research on it, so that's going to be fun. True, possibility, but we don't know if that base is haunted or not. So if we just stalk it up to, oh, the base is haunted, then there's no real facts to it because we don't know if it's haunted. We don't know if it's not. If it is haunted, is just that area, that section that it keeps going through? Is that the only haunted part? Or the entire base? Who died near the base or who died around the base? And when did they die? Or were they murdered? There's all these questions that you got to answer before you can come to a conclusion on that subject, Linda. You got to have proof before you can state anything. That's what research is for. But that could be possibly a theory that could happen. That's possibly a theory. Anybody else got any questions? I've got a few minutes before I shut it down. Yeah, and like I said, that's a good theory. It could be one of multiple theories. Good one though. It's a good possibility. I'm not jumping you or anything, Linda, but it is a good possibility. But in every story that you do, you got to have the facts, and that means doing the research to get the facts to happen. Means multiple sources, either multiple websites or multiple books. Because without those facts, you can't compile, you can't put together a book or a report yourself without having more than one resource. Say, okay, you get 3 or 4 books together. They all have the same different content, but they all say something different about it or similar. Something similar, but then this other book, says something different. Well, you compile that with what you already have from the other 2 books. Then, after the book, you go to the websites, look up the same subject, see if any of them say something different or something to add. Like I said before, the fur color on certain things, is it consistent? So if it is, or fur color or hair color or eye color, if they're all consistent in each book, and they're also consistent on the website, then you have the eye color or fur color or hair color of that creature because they all say the same thing. But what you really look for is the inconsistency. Say one says this thing has, like I did the man bat. One says it had 2 claws, the other one says 3. Okay? One says 2, one says 3. All right. Well, then you look for that. Which one's the most? Well, say they all say it has 2 to 3, like I did for man bat. Then you say, okay, so maybe there's 2 different types. Maybe the 2 claw or the 3 claw is the male or female. Okay? So then you got a comparison. You know they have red eyes, you know they have 2 to 3 feet. 2 to 3 toes. Okay, then you look up and say they all say this thing has claws. Well, you know for a fact because even the website and the books say they have claws. So then you know for a fact, okay, this thing has red eyes. This thing has 2 to 3 feet toes, either one male and one female. Then you also know that yes, they do have wings. All of them say they have a 10-foot wingspan at least. Well, you know for a fact that from the books, from the websites, they have bat wings. So you know those three things. Okay, then you look up, okay, some say they have gray skin, some say they have brown fur. Well, now for sure, you know there's different types. Some have fur, some have just skin. Okay? Then you go through and you look, okay, some say they have a beak. Well, most of them say they have beak and an ape-like face. Well, we know that they have an ape-like face and they have a beak. That's a fact. Because in each one of them, they say that, and none of them varies. Then you look to see if there's any consistencies. Well, say you don't find any. Well, there's your facts. You got those compiled. Now you want to look for the habitat. Okay, say this one was seen near a school. Okay, this one was seen near water, this one was seen near water, this one was seen near water, this one was seen near water. Well, then you compile how many were seen near water, how many were seen by a school. Then you look at a map. How far was this school from water? Well, it's only 10 miles from water. Then you got that pinpointing. You know they live near water. Then you look at the pattern of where the ones were seen near water. Most creatures, most, don't go 10 miles from their home, even when they go to hunt. So they can remember where their home is. Okay? So that's where you can compile, okay, this thing's here. Then you go 10 miles out. Say, okay, 10 miles away, there's a cave from the ones that are around water. Then you know where they're at. That's with almost any creature. I'm not saying all. So then you know where the cave is, possibly, not for sure. Please don't do that. You don't get a warning. That's what you know. And because all of the research you've done, you know you compile that. That's how I did my research on Man-Bat. I don't know where they live at, but I know it's around near water. And it's either at least 5 miles away from the water or 5 miles close to it, where the closest sightings are at. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, before I go, anybody have any questions? Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, I bid you all a good luck, good night. God bless.